I signed my 15-year-old daughter up for a trial science tutoring class on Prep Lee, hoping to give her an extra edge in her studies. After the session, I casually asked how it went. She shrugged and said it was okay, but something about it unsettled her. The tutor kept asking me where I was from, she said, her voice laced with discomfort. Like not just where I live, but where my family is from. It felt weird. At first, I brushed it off as a cultural difference. The tutor was from Pakistan after all, and maybe they were just trying to make small talk. But something about my daughter's hesitation made me uneasy. Then came the next red flag. She hesitated before adding, "Also, he was lying in bed the entire time, on his back, with the laptop on his stomach." I blinked. "Wait, what?" "Yeah," she said. "It was so unprofessional. He looked half asleep." That set off alarm bells. I had assumed this was a structured, professional lesson. Instead, it sounded like something a bored college student would do while half-heartedly checking emails. Still, I told myself it wasn't that big of a deal. Maybe it was a casual style of tutoring. Maybe I was overreacting. And then, the final straw. Later that evening, my daughter pulled up the tutor's introductory video on the platform. She watched it for a moment before her eyes narrowed. "That's not the same person," she whispered. I felt a chill run down my spine. "Are you sure?" "Positive." I studied the video. The voice sounded similar, but something was off. The face shape, the way they spoke. Was it just the lighting? A different hairstyle? Or was my daughter actually being taught by a completely different person than the one we had signed up for? At that moment, I realized something disturbing. I had no way to prove it. Prep Lee doesn't record sessions. There was no evidence, no way to confirm who had actually been on the call. And that's what creeped me out the most. How could I be sure the tutor was even who they claimed to be? Vetting tutors on Prep Lee. What can parents do? This experience left me wondering, how do you properly vet a tutor on platforms like Prep Lee? And is it okay for a parent to briefly check in on a session to make sure everything is appropriate? Some thoughts. Check for consistency. Watch their intro video with your child before the lesson and again after to see if anything seems off. Look for professionalism. Read the reviews carefully and avoid tutors with vague or generic feedback. If you see multiple complaints about distractions, lateness, or unprofessional behavior, it's a red flag. Monitor the first session. Even if sessions aren't recorded, you can be nearby and listen in briefly, with your child's knowledge. It's a good way to ensure the tutor is engaged and professional. Ask your child the right questions. Instead of just asking, "How was it?" Try, "Did the tutor seem knowledgeable? Did they explain things clearly? Did anything make you uncomfortable?" Use platforms that offer session recordings. If possible, choose a tutoring service that provides recordings so you can verify both the teaching quality and the tutor's identity. So, is it okay for a parent to peek into a session? Absolutely. A quick check-in could prevent a weird, uncomfortable, or even potentially unsafe experience. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to online learning, we're trusting a stranger with our child's education. And sometimes, things aren't always what they seem. Has anyone else had this experience? Let me know in the comments.